Hey guys, how's it going? So, who are they? Morbius. Let's find out. Alright, so I went ahead and dropped some timestamps in case you guys want to see some key comics. Go ahead and see his origin story, or maybe just a good jumping on point if you want to read this character before the movie comes out. Alright, let's get into it. Okay, Morbius was first created in October of 1971 by writer Roy Thomas and artist Gil Kane. He splashed into the world of comics in that Amazing Spider-Man issue 101, where you could see him there. The first words he spoken were, "No, please go back. I just want to get to shore. I don't want to hurt you." And you could already see those crazy vampirish eyes and that nose, but he didn't have that really pale white skin yet. But as the pages go on, you see him actually turn into the full-blown Morbius. But what's really cool about Morbius entering the world of Spider-Man and comic books in general was, at the time, earlier that year in February of 1971, the Comics Code Authority lifted that ban on supernatural characters such as vampires. So we were able to get a pretty cool character out of it. And before I go any further, I think it's probably the best to go over his origin story on how he actually turned into this damn living vampire. A few years later, in June of 1974, Vampire Tales issue number 5 came out. That featured a few stories in there, but one of those stories, because stories all about vampires, one of them was the origin story about Morbius, because people want to know what the heck, man. And in one of those first pages of that story, I feel like there's a speech bubble that kind of defines the Morbius that we know today, when he said, "To live is to hope, my friend. To abandon hope is to already be dead." So that kind of shows his motivation and perseverance to keep on moving forward no matter the obstacles. So he states that he's a Nobel Peace Prize type of scientist, and he's doing all these different experiments, and he's leaving his last hope up to a bite of a bat, which doesn't really seem to go anywhere until he decides to go on like this submarine shipish, and he's out, and that's when he starts to transform into this Morbius character. And that's actually kind of like where it transitioned into Amazing Spider-Man 101. Well, from my best knowledge, that's what I picked up on. Now, his different abilities are pretty cool because he is really smart. Being a trained biologist and biochemist, and then from his added powers, he has genius level intellect, superhuman strength, speed, durability, stamina. He possesses flight and hypnosis, so, hide your kids, hide your wives, because he's out here biting everybody. He also has an accelerated healing factor, which is a pretty big deal, but he also relies on blood. Like any vampire, he needs to suck on blood and consume it in order to maintain his undead living status. And now Morbius has been a character that's popped up all over the place since he first came out, from House of M to Marvel Max, Marvel Zombies and Ultimate Marvel, Spider-Geddon and all the different Spider-Man titles, even in some Spider-Man video games. But to me, the most iconic form that I've ever consumed Morbius was in the Spider-Man animated series, voiced by Nick Jameson, which every time I see Morbius, that's the one thing I think of. Man, what a great animated series. Let me know down in the comments down below. Do you enjoy Spider-Man animated series? Because I can rewatch that again. Alright, now for a good jumping on point, even though I'm not the biggest fan of this run, he has a brand new run that just came out that you can go to your local comic book shop, pick up, I believe, the first 2 issues, and number 3 is coming out, or 3 just came out. So you could go ahead and catch up relatively easy and kind of get your Morbius fill that way. Or if you want to go back issue hunting, back in 2013, Morbius the Living Vampire was pretty cool, where we got a new retelling of Morbius' origin story, and just the artwork inside looks pretty damn good. Hey, even the covers. All right, now let's jump into some key comics. I'm going to highlight 3 because we have the movie coming out on the tail end of the year. The trailer just came out. Click that link right up there because I did a pretty cool reaction. You might want to check it out. But as far as keys, I believe the first one, Amazing Spider-Man issue 101, which is his first appearance in comic books, that's kind of a significant moment for him, so you might want to scoop that one up. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not going to tell you when you should buy it, but if you get the opportunity to and you got the loot, pick up the book. I'll also throw out there as like a part 1.01, his second appearance in Amazing Spider-Man issue 102 is his second appearance in Morbius, and there's a couple more first appearances in that book as well. So if you can't get the first appearance, go for the second. All right, now my second key book that I would pick up will be this Vampire Tales issue number 5, where we got his actual origin story. Now, it's a book that has multiple stories inside, but one of those stories is the Morbius origin, so you might want to get that one. Then the last key comic that I would personally get if I was to go out getting keys based off of Morbius will be this Marvel Premiere issue 28, where we're going to get the first team appearance and the origin of the Legion of Monsters that has freaking Morbius in it, has Ghost Rider, Man-Thing, Werewolf by Night. I mean, how can you go wrong? I mean, that cover is iconic. You could get a pretty high grade for not that expensive a book. Even the low grade is pretty cheap, which technically the low grade should always be cheaper than the high grade, but you know what I mean. But yeah, those are the 3 keys that I would personally pick up if I was to go out buying some Morbius keys. Let me know, what are some key issues or some cool issues of Morbius, or if you like this character, or if you learned anything in this video, please let me know down below. I appreciate you guys watching. Make sure to check out that trailer because it was pretty damn good. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
What we do here is go back,
I don't even read comics, okay?